Oh, I'm on mute. Thank you, Reggie. I was saying I'm waiting for Kasaun to come on because he had his house party event today. So he should be here shortly. Let me know if you can hear if all is well. Also, when you come in, like the video, and let me know if my video starts acting up like it was before, because that was stressful. Y'all gotta let me know when there's a problem so I can fix it, you know? Hey, Siobhan. Did you get to finish watching it? You said you have a little bit of time. We're still waiting for Kasaun. Who else isn't here? Announce yourself so we can say what's up. Reggie, what are you looking at? No, I think it's gonna be better in the next seasons. I feel like they're gonna learn from all the foolishness that's going on, and they're gonna do better in future seasons. Because after seeing what happened this season, they're gonna go harder and more investigations on the people that they pick. There's no way that they're just no. There's gonna be changes made. Who else is in here? Go ahead and like the video. We just waiting for Kasaun. We're gonna talk about it all. This episode was so stressful to me. If you've been watching any of the other reviews I was doing, y'all know I've been trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's just like I was trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, and you try to be a good person. You try to help people and they don't help themselves. So, hey, Jamal. Jamal, please confirm with me that you're one-sided passport so that I can move on with my life and know who you are for real. Let me... Do you think they'll keep the experts? Yay! Hi, Jamal. I'm so happy you watched this show that we can still connect. Do you think they'll keep the experts even though it's production's fault? Someone has to be the scapegoat. That's a good point. I think it depends on how they incorporate the experts' help in this scenario. That so far we've heard nothing from the experts, right? So I think it's going to depend on how the experts help and what they have to offer. Otherwise, we're just going to look at them like y'all made a bad match, when in reality, obviously it's the stuff behind the scenes. Because even in this episode, we saw a lot of behind the scenes with production. So I don't know. What do you think? I try to be. I don't think everyone is inherently bad. I don't believe that. So I have to I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm gonna say. Before we get started, we're gonna go through the couples like we normally do, like in order that they show on the screen. And then we're gonna talk about their little couples couch session that they had. Mike, nothing happened yet. I'm waiting for Kasaun to get back from his house party. But a lot happened in this episode. We all know that Chris was having a baby. We all knew that from episode 1, basically episode 1 or 2. We all knew that he was about to have a baby on the way. And this episode is when they revealed that. Yeah. Extra's been completely MIA. Mindy called out a pepper on the honeymoon. Paige has been wandering around talking to me. Who's Mindy? Who's Mindy? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the experts. They haven't even like really chimed in to have any kind of opinion on anything that anyone's doing. And allegedly they know everything that everyone's doing. Why have they yet to chime in? That's really weird to me. I don't know. It's really weird. But yeah, who's Mindy? That could be true. That could be very true. But I think that they care. I don't think that they inherently want people to be, you know, like having a bad marriage. Season 10 contestant, I think he told. Oh, Mindy. Yes. I was like, girl, who? I only watched like the first 4 episodes of season 10. I couldn't even continue the way that the editing was. And so I have to actually go back and watch the full season 10 because I couldn't take it. But you're talking about the gym guy told her that she wasn't his type. Yeah. And I knew that it wasn't gonna be his type either when I saw the pairing. Give me one moment while I look for my co-host. Yeah, season 10 was DC. When they went to Panama for their honeymoon. See, I should have applied. I didn't know that they was taking DC applications. I should have applied so I could have went to Panama for my honeymoon and see my family. I missed the opportunity. And I wonder, we're gonna talk about it, but I wonder how long. I wonder if he will really stay on the show for the check. Because when we were looking, so last season with Henry and Christina, it was clear that Henry and Christina were not going to work, and it's clear that he wasn't attracted to her in the way that you should be attracted to somebody you're married to, or that you just even like. And he just stayed. He just like, well, maybe, like, no, let it end. So I wonder if the check is really that good. Like, he had a regular job. It's not like he was hurting for money. I don't think most people come on the show hurting for money. Because in New Orleans, yeah, that was New Orleans. No, was that New Orleans? Yeah, that was New Orleans. There was healthcare workers and stuff. Those people make money. So I'm like, is the check really that good? Is the check really that good? But all right, it's been 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and start off, and then Kasaun can jump in when he jumps on. So the first couple that came on the screen was Claire and Ryan. And y'all know that I like Claire and Ryan. These are them. These are Claire and Ryan. Hold up. You said what? According to 2018 Radar Online report, each season 1 castmate earned $18,000 for the full season. Okay. The season 3 stars got a salary bump, and they reportedly each earned $25,000. Interesting. So $25,000 for what? They're on there for 8 weeks. That's 2 months. I guess the check is that good. That is a good check. Thank you, doctor. So would y'all do it? Would y'all endure this foolishness for the check? Put yourself in Paige's shoes for the foolishness and embarrassment, and let me know if you would take 25,000 for 2 months and then have to endure this, and this be a stain on your life for literally the rest of eternity, because nothing on the internet ever dies. Let me know. I don't think I could do it, because you literally can never go back into anonymity. Like you're a public figure for the rest of the time, and it's not for something good. Period. Really? I don't even see that for you. I don't see that for you. When people, the internet, Black Twitter, they're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. Because they really be all up in their face from literally the time they open their eyes to the time that they close their eyes. So you're right. That is kind of on the low side. But if it's bad internet fame, like all press is not good press, in my opinion. True, exactly. Like, do I think that marriage is sacred, or, you know, I can jump in and out? Yeah, that makes complete sense. What do you mean not a stain? It would literally be, it would be on your life for the rest of time until Jeff Bezos cancels the internet. Well, let me get to... Don't do that to her. Okay. So, yeah, Clara and Ryan. This is them, if y'all remember them. From the beginning, I said I liked them. And so we're going to talk about them first. So in the episode, it was like everybody woke up. And so this is only day 3 of marriage. It feels like they've been married for at least 2 weeks. But this is day 3 of marriage. So they go off to eat at like lunch or whatever. And they are, you know, having healthy conversation, you know, conversations about, you know, their work and their life routines. Wait, what? Reggie, marriage is a come up. Like, if it's gonna be embarrassment for the rest of your life, is it really worth it? Is it really, really worth it? So he's talking about how routine he is, and she's a flight attendant. I don't remember what he does. I think he does something on the computer, and she's a flight attendant. So they're talking about their daily routines, and he's talking about how, you know, his routine is very strict. We knew that from the beginning. And she's talking about how her flight attendant life is completely fly by night. Like, literally, she's saying, you know, she doesn't always make holidays. She doesn't always make birthdays and important events in people's lives. So yeah, hold on one second, y'all. Kasaun is texting me. And so she's saying, like, look, you know, you can keep your routine, but sometimes I can't be there. And I thought that was kind of like, she kind of was like, you know, take it or leave it. It's just what happens. So yeah, that was kind of... One moment. He's coming on very shortly. So she kind of just like, take it or leave it. Sometimes I ain't gonna be here. And he was kind of like off about that, because he likes to plan things with people. And she was kind of like, yeah, I plan some things with people, but also a lot of times I miss it. Like, sometimes I plan and stuff and then I just don't make it. And so then that's just what it is. And then they went to go see dolphins, and apparently that's Ryan's favorite animal. So that was cute. They had a good time with the dolphins. They're fine. Then he's talking about They're talking about what they want to name their children when they get older, and just generally talking about how they want to raise their kids. And then last week, if y'all remember, they had the discussion when she met his parents. When she met his parents, they were talking about raising children in church. Well, they were talking about being raised in the church, and apparently we found out that Ryan's parents are ministers, and they're very into the church. Apparently he goes to church very often, and it's really important to them. Does she have a plan for the checks? Because she could end up alone. Who are you talking about? Clara? Who are we talking about right now? But so they're talking about their kids' names and stuff, and he's talking about how he wants to name his child. Hey, Toya. Like this video, y'all, so people can see it. He's talking about how he wants to name his child Elton, and we're probably gonna go over some of this again when Kasaun gets on. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get these technical difficulties together. Let me know if my video is clear or if I'm skipping and stuff, but just work with me, okay? Just work with me. I'm blurry. That just might be the focus on here. Thank you for thank you, audience, for helping me. Am I still blurry? You can text me like you were texting me. Okay, great. So yeah, he wants to name his child Elton, like Elton John. And she was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work for me. But Elton Oubre sounds like a cute name to me. Reggie, who are you talking about wanting checks because they can end up alone? And I want to have this conversation with Kasaun because I have a question and I want to get you all's answers too. So just give us a moment. We live, so y'all can tell me what y'all had for dinner. I just had a piece of bread pudding from this cafe here where I live, and it was really good. Toya, did you get to watch the show? I'm not judging you. I watched it today. Stick with me, guys. We're gonna get it together. Oh, you ain't been watching the show. You in the boat with Mike. So Claire and Ryan had that conversation, and she asked him if he plans on raising his kids in church, right? And he's like, yeah, I think that I want to raise my kids in church. And she was saying that she wouldn't force her kids to go to church because she never had the choice in her own life. So she felt like she wouldn't force her kids to go to church if they didn't want to, or force them to do anything really that they didn't want to do. So in his little side interview, he was talking about how he felt like he said we, I think he, meant like him and his family or Christians in general, have the responsibility of like raising their child up in some kind of moral, foundational institution of some sort. And basically like we have the responsibility to train up a child, right? And I want to know what you guys think about that. I think that, here we go. Hello. Welcome.
I don't even know. Just on the title that you put on the YouTube video alone, I shouldn't have even came here tonight. Are you ready to be a stepmom? Why would you put that? That is.
That's the question that was asked in the episode. I didn't say nothing out of pocket.
I don't know if this is Married at First Sight or some Tyler Perry play that I done walked into, but I'm happy to be here. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm on a week by week basis on if I could take this season.
Thank you, Mike. Exactly. I'm Ashanti.
Wait, what?
He said, "Welcome, Keisha Cole," because Keisha was late.
Now I would accept Gucci Mane, but I'm not taking Keisha Cole. Come on now. That's cool.
Hilarious. I've been trying to explain what's been going on. Never got to do the intro. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. How was your house party? Before we jump in, how did it go?
It was great. We had a great time. Everybody had fun. Some great comics. My mom was hilarious. Found out her celebrity crush was Jermaine Jackson. So, I have a lot of soul searching to do after this is over. But
understood.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you made it.
What have I missed so far?
So we're talking about Claire and Ryan and what happened with them. That's the beginning.
Oh boy, I already see some of these comments. I mean, you've been talking trash in here already.
No, I haven't at all. We've been talking about other stuff. We was talking about, how much it is for them to stay on the show. Because there's feel like sometimes people should be leaving, like Christina and Henry. Like, why are you staying on this show? There's literally no connection. We're talking about how much money it generated. And if I was asking them if they would stay on the show and ruin their life's reputation and be embarrassed for the rest of their life for $25K. And Reggie said, absolutely. So there's that.
Yeah, all right. I don't believe none of y'all.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I definitely wouldn't. I said I wouldn't do it. But anywho, I didn't get very far into Claire and Ryan, but I was talking about how they were talking about, they were having a healthy conversation about their life routines. And now we're talking about children right now and how he wanted to name his son Elton. And
Elton Oubre.
That doesn't even sound bad to me, but Elton, as a child, that don't.
Elton Oubre?
It don't sound bad. Okay. It don't sound bad as an adult. He said he got an uncle named Elton and a cousin named Elton. So somebody's name out there already is Elton Oubre. So.
All right. But hers wasn't better. That's why I was like, why aren't you making fun of him?
Vera's cute. They both old. Both of those names are old. But Vera's cute to me.
The name Vera comes with freedom papers. I'm like, how dare you? Y'all are both fighting for your freedom. Vera and Elton. Vera and Elton came here on the same ship. The nerve. You think Vera Oubre is more modern?
Well, we already know she wanted to have the last name Jones and Smith and Brown, so it goes together. Vera Brown, Vera Jones, Vera Smith.
That's a fact. Yo, you're just naming your children Vera and then judging your blind date husband because he want to name it Elton. That's the same thing.
It is basically the same thing. But yeah, so now we're to the point. I wanted to ask you this question, and I wanted to get the answer from everyone else. Wait, what? Siobhan want to act up today.
That's a fact. Listen, if you date, but the only reason why Tasha ain't laughing is because those kind of people should be dating. Tasha just went out with somebody named Virgil last Tuesday. He invited her over his house to watch a VHS tape of. He had a VHS tape of Tenet. Tenet just came out. He already got a VHS tape of it.
I'm weak. Listen, I like people my age now.
Since last week? Since last week? Yes. Since last week's episode?
Since 2021.
Because I know you was texting before we filmed. Everybody who watching, before we filmed last week, she was FaceTiming with somebody named Earl. Before we She didn't know we was recording. She didn't know, and she was helping Earl figure out where his hip medicine was. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we live. Hey y'all, Married at First Sight, season 12."
Anywho, this is Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 5. We didn't do no intros. We 30 minutes in. Shout out
to Earl, man. He's a good guy.
Anyway, so Clara asked Ryan if he no, we're not related. I don't actually know Kasaun that well. We just be jumping on here.
Wait a minute. First of all, I do not appreciate the way you just tried to disassociate yourself. She asked if we are related. All you had to do is say no.
I did.
No. You tried to add. First of all, I don't even know him like that. We've been to a couple of events at the same time, but I don't rock with him like that.
Let me finish what I'm saying, because it's funny because somebody texted me asking me to ask you something, to do something, and I was like, oh, like we're not like, we ain't friends like that. We're just cool. They're like, oh, I couldn't tell from the live. I thought y'all was besties. I was like, that's just how it worked out.
Wait, what they at? First of all, you ain't even text me and ask me what this is the way you gonna break the news live on this episode? Somebody actually texted me and called me to ask you something, but I ain't asking him. So now we all want to know. Every episode of this, you always reveal some stuff that you never tell. Like every single episode, you just leave these cliffhangers. Yo, you are in witness protection. Nobody knows.
No, it's irrelevant now.
Why are you so mysterious about everything in life? Can you complete one episode without some kind of clip? You in witness protection, fam. I don't even know if Tasha your real name.
It's close enough. My mom called me something else. Anyway, so she asked him if he wants to raise his kids in church. And he was basically like, yeah, I think I would want to raise my kids in church. And she was saying that she wouldn't force her kids to go to church because she felt like she didn't have a choice in the matter. She wouldn't force her kids to do to live any specific kind of lifestyle. She would want them to explore and do what they wanted to do. And I wanted to ask you and everybody watching, because he said, we have a responsibility. And I think to him, either meant him and his family or Christians in general, said that we have a responsibility to like raise them with some kind of moral standing, institution, something of the sort. Basically train up a child in the way that they should go. That's what he was talking about. And which side are you? Are you team Ryan or team Clara, or somewhere in the middle?
Is this what the person texted you to ask me, or is this something? All right. I am somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So like when my kid is like 4 and they don't want to go to church, can they stay home and watch like Fraggle Rock? I don't know what kids watch now, but no, my kid will come to church with us and we'll raise our kid in church. But by the time that they're a teenager, my mom was like really strict. Like I'm in my 30s now, and if I tell her I didn't go to church, she's like, So I don't want to raise people who experience God out of obligation.
Sure.
So I think if my kid wanted to miss a Sunday, like when my kid is a teenager, there'll be times where we go out on trips and we won't be in church. But I think I will raise my kid. Like I would love for my kids to go to church out of a relationship and not out of obligation. What age that happens at, I don't know. And I have a thing about people who are so sure about how they'll raise hypothetical children. Like, I don't know. I don't know them yet. So, when people are like, I'm going to beat my kids. It's like, why are you beating kids that don't exist?
They didn't even do it in the bag yet.
What is wrong? Why are you beating hypothetical children? So I don't know, but I think for me, and I would have to talk to my wife about this, but I think for me, by the time they're a teenager, I would want there to be some sort of turn to where they're going to church because they want to. But if they decide like, hey, I don't want to go to church this Sunday, can we just chill? I don't think it's a sin not to.
Right.
That's my opinion. How about you?
I agreed with him when he said like we have a responsibility to like raise our child in some kind of moral foundation. But I really feel like it mostly starts at home, regardless if you like we can go, I'm gonna go to church for every Sunday, right? But also if I go to church every Sunday and I go home and my child doesn't see me living the way I be agreeing with at church on Sunday, then there's no point. So I think it really starts at home, and then the church adds the community aspect of morality, right? If you go to a good church, there's that part of it, but mostly it's literally what they see every day. So I agree with him. I would try, I would like exactly like you said, like if they're little, like you're coming with me, like you're not staying home to play Beyblades or whatever y'all do. We're going to church. And
who is y'all?
My hypothetical children.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, I agree with him on that.
I don't think that church attendance should be. Church attendance doesn't equal fulfilling your spiritual obligation somehow.
Sure. Like
just because you attend church doesn't mean that you've fulfilled all the requirements of your like spiritual community service. Like it doesn't work that way. But you know what? This is maybe a more important point. I wouldn't want to pick a church where I feel like I'm being fed and my kids aren't being served.
Sure.
Like I would pick a church that had like like I grew up in a church where it was like the youth pastor's name was like Shirley. And I'm like, this is old. This is whack.
It wasn't Vera.
Yeah, it was Vera was my youth pastor growing up. She was like, hey, everybody, you want a cough drop? You're like, ew, this church sucks. So like all the parents upstairs having a great time and shouting, and we're downstairs like talking about the benefits of arithmetic. Like this church sucks. And nobody no creativity or nothing. So I think that is I think that's one of like a handful of topics that if you don't talk it out, you can kind of skip over it now, but can be a really big issue.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what Jamal said.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they'll find common ground because I don't see Ryan being the type that's gonna force his kids to do anything. He seems pretty chill and like we were talking about last time. He seems like an attender of church, sure, but not like his shirt
said "Product of Grace." Did anybody peep that?
No, I missed that.
His shirt.
So maybe he's more into it than we thought because he just ain't mentioning it. Okay.
You know, it's the producer's fault. Because they only wanted to put the church angle on the people who will remain unnamed for right now.
Voldemort.
Yes. And they only tried to show him doing push-ups and not wanting people in his life. Just listen, people will edit your life. People, there's a word in there somewhere for somebody. Because they try to act like he wasn't spiritual at all. They didn't even say his parents were pastors until like the third episode.
Yeah. He's the one that mentioned it, that they're ministers, but yeah. His parents might have an issue if you're not bringing them to church. You're right, Jamal.
I think you should have a bigger problem if your daughter's name is Vera. But
But I think overall they were having healthy conversations. I think everybody was really having healthy conversations, except for Voldemort and them. She's messy. He's clean. She's flight attendant. He's very routine. There's a lot of differences, but what?
What?
Right, that part. He definitely 7 out of 10, and she ain't going. But I think that whatever church he was going to is the issue. I don't think that is necessarily the religion. Yeah. It seems just like she just had a bad experience at some church, and she was like, I never went back.
Something happened because she said she was in seminary or biblical college.
She went to Bible college, and then she never went to church again.
And Bible college from then to now. So
something happened.
Yeah, it's something like you don't just nobody signs up for Bible college. Like, should I do psychology, political science, or hermeneutics? Like nobody does that.
Yeah. So, something happened. And I think that I feel like he and his family seem nice enough, Chad and the rest of them, to like they'll love on her, and it might turn in their favor out of love.
You know, but he also, I think the thing that encourages me is he comes off as somebody who thinks for himself.
Yeah.
So even if his parents are pastors, I don't get the impression that he's like, you know, that he was a minister and then there wasn't paying enough. So then,
no, he's not.
I'm saying any hypothetical situation that could be.
Exactly. He would never be with Paige. You thought she wasn't Chris's time.
You know, I wouldn't. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna take this play off.
And so they were talking about
moving deficient.
They were talking about moving into Ryan's house, and she seems to really have an issue about like it's gonna feel more like his house, or like she's not gonna incorporate well. But I'm like, you guys are gonna have 4 months of practice. Like, calm down. I mean, it's not 4 months. It's 2 months. Y'all have some practice. It'll be fine. I don't have anything else more to say about them except for that conversation.
So, question: they're not doing the separate apartments this year?
That's what I'm saying. She was making it seem like they weren't, but they are.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the only reason why I think Clara's apprehension is warranted. He does seem very much like, I like my stuff the way it is. Like, don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, he's very clear about that. He's been very clear about that.
So when she came out and was like, yo, you just don't seem like you're ready to live with anybody, I was like, because
I don't think anybody's really ready to live with a spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend until it happens. Like, you can think about what's going to happen, but when it actually happens, it's just like, there's going to be some tension, period.
Yeah, but I feel like it's, from Clara's point of view, it's like, I am moving into your space. So if we get an apartment or a house together, generally speaking, you assume that the woman gets to imprint her house, and then guys, like, the only thing I got to pick in this house was this chair. This is it. Everything else was determined for me. No, I'm joking, but kind of not. But if she's moving into his house and he's already like, my stuff is my stuff, then you feel like a guest in somebody's house, and this is somebody you tying your life to. I would be concerned too.
They'll figure it out, though. They'll figure it out.
I agree.
We're gonna move on from them so we can get to the good stuff eventually.
This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff.
Let's go to Eric and Virginia, or Ashley and Michael Scott. Let me remove these people, show you guys who it is so you guys can remember. This is Eric and Virginia. She's the young party girl. He is the pilot, so you all can remember. Eric personality was jumping out this episode. I was kind of shocked. He had a lot to say and had a lot of opinions, and he wasn't acting like that before.
Yeah, I would attribute that to what some people call alcohol.
Okay.
She turned him out in 2 episodes. He was loose.
They had a shot. I was like, what is that, a triple shot? I'm like, that's a regular drink. Y'all taking as a shot. Like, what is happening?
I'm like, is that a regular cup? And she took that joint like a champ. hey, he said, oh, is this a shot? She said, yeah. He said, I'm just gonna take it slow.
I was like, man, this is a right. This was the shot that they drank. Like, what?
That's the
this
cup.
That's
the cup that you use to water that plant in the background, and she took that joint straight to the head.
Yeah, that was interesting. But
I'll tell you what, I'm never getting on the plane he flies again. It was one thing. If there's one thing,
he turned into Denzel Washington.
Listen, you never want to see your chef in the bathroom, and I do not want to see my pilot taking a shot ever. Sorry.
But they talked about, hey, Kendra.
Hey, girl. What up, Kendra?
They were talking about how he was talking about how he wasn't even talking about it. He was just showing how strict he was. Because he was kind of like, you gonna do your hair and I'm gonna get you on the schedule and I'm gonna this and that. Like, we're gonna have to stray you out. Like, okay, calm down. This is day 3. Let me curl my hair if I want to get in the pool and mess it up. It's good.
I'm trying to tell you that Republican National Convention started coming out.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, the fact that they think that they're moving at a fast pace was really funny to me. They're like, yeah, we're just doing so well. And I don't think the other couples are as progressed as far as we have. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
What are y'all doing?
They're doing something.
Like, what are y'all doing off camera that we are not seeing?
Literally, because they talked about it multiple times, just how wonderful they're getting along and how far along they are. And I was like, you guys are.
The only thing that I think is far along that I've seen from them is their blood alcohol count. And hello, Kendra. Hello, young lady. Good to see you as well. We know each other now. It's over.
Kendra is one of my best friends from middle school.
How you doing, Kendra? It's good to see you. You know, what up? We don't do strangers over here. We're all friends. So hello.
But she has kind of a sarcastic mouth that I got to see, because when they were in the pool and he was like trying to talk and she kept having like little slick stuff to say, I said, okay, Virginia. She wasn't even really trying to let him get his sentences out and stuff. And when they was talking about being friends, can men and women be friends? That is the question. People in the chat, let me know if you think that men and women can be friends. Kasaun, do you think that men and women can be friends?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I think that it all depends on what the definition of friend is. And I think that the conversation gets so heated because people have the different definitions of what friend means. And this is one of the reasons why you have to define what a friend is to you to have this conversation make sense. So like, if a friend to you is somebody that you just say, hey, what's up? Or is a friend to you someone that you tell all your secrets and you talk to them every day and they know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's a friend?
I think this is what I think. Now, we don't talk about this before we go live. So I'm coming up with this on the fly. So I may retract this statement, but I do believe that men and women can be friends. However, I don't think that men and women should be friends if they're naive to what's really going on. I think it's very, very plausible that a man and a woman, it's really hard for two parties of the opposite sex to be friends without with both of them being in a platonic space. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I certainly think that Republican National Convention doesn't approve of men and women being friends, but
he was clear about that.
Yeah, and which is fine, but does that mean like I have friends, like we all have friends, but does it mean that it's like you have boundaries? Like if you feel like you can't have boundaries, then no.
Right.
I think that's what I think.
I think that I have a lot of friends that are men, but it's not like I'm telling them all my deepest, darkest secrets, and I'm like, our conversations aren't like super deep and intimate. You know what I mean? It's just like regular stuff. I think this is true too. I think it's very difficult to be actually friends with somebody you've already gone somewhere with them. But anywho,
yeah, it got to be somebody you met at children's church. You just can't be making no new friends out here.
So I don't really have nothing to say about them. I think it's funny that they think that they're far along. We're gonna talk about the couples couch situation at the end. But I don't have that much to say about them. They're not doing as well as they think. I think they're not doing bad, but they're not doing as well as they think they're doing.
It feels like a ticking time bomb to where she feels judged or restricted by him.
I think she already does.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I think she already does. Because even when he was talking about his schedule for as a pilot, okay, before I say this, what are you saying, Jamal? If your spouse was doing exactly what you were doing with your friend, would you be cool? That's a good question to ask yourself.
Wait, if my wife was doing what I was doing with my friend, would I be cool with it?
Like, I think if your spouse was doing with their friend what you're doing with your friend, would you be cool with it? Like, would you? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think that's a good question to have in your mind when you're talking about friends. Like, okay, these conversations I'm having with my friend, would I be cool if my spouse was having those same kind of conversations with their friend? Then yeah, that's the barometer. But when he was talking about his schedule, and she was literally just like sharing general concern about it, because like obviously she's never been in the situation, very valid for her to have these apprehensions or whatever. And he's like, it is what it is, and you'll be fine. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is what's gonna be. I've lived this my whole life. You never have, but you'll be fine. Like, it was kind of dismissive. I think she's already feeling a little bit judged for having feelings about it.
I wish they had some episodes where we can meet their exes, because I feel like a part of that for him is probably has something to do with his divorce.
You think it's fake, or?
I mean, the marriage wasn't like, he said it was just on paper.
Yeah, you're right.
So I just wonder how much of that, because I mean, a part of me appreciates the being upfront, like, yo, listen, this is what it is. This is, if we say yes on decision day, it's knowing that this is the life. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'll be here for 2 weeks, and you got to be cool with that. So, I mean, I kind of appreciate that a little bit.
Yeah, I just think because he kept cutting her off, and she was like, I'm just saying, it does concern me a little bit. And yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next couple that showed up on the screen, which was
all right. I'm sorry, real quick. Does Virginia have a job? I'm kind of unclear on that.
She has a job. It's not like I don't think it's like a career job, but it's a job.
Yeah, I think she'd be cool. I feel like she would be comfortable as a housewife. I think so too. And he's telling her, like, it's okay. Like, if you don't, he's like, girl, if you don't bring in any money, we'll be fine. And she's like, I want to contribute and be 50-50. And he's like, that's cute. You have to be sober to have a job, right? Like, no, I'm joking.
He's like, that's really cute. That you're so adorable. We'll be fine, ma'am. But these are the next people that showed up on the screen. What's these people's name? This is Paige and Chris. Are you praying?
I got to do something. I'm stressed out already.
You sound like Chris. So the whole yeah, Dr. Siobhan with the Hampton.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Hampton Institute? HI. Listen, it's Black History Month, man. We could do this in March. We don't have time for this. We need to unify.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, Dr. Siobhan.
So the entire episode started off like a freaking movie, literally a Tyler Perry movie produced by Tyler Perry Studios.
Earlier. Like, come on, man.
They did so much to make this so dramatic.
2 hours.
I don't want to tell her. What do you mean you don't want to tell her? I don't want to tell her. Like, that's your wife. But I'm not gonna tell her. What do you mean? Not okay, like just get on with
Yo, they try to put that in the footage just in case he never told her. So they can be like, we can put this out there.
So yeah, that was so dramatic. I'm like, y'all are really trying to make this. This is a reality show this is Love and Hip Hop at this point. Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and so they're sitting at the table eating breakfast or whatever. And Chris,
he finally got the breakfast after 2 episodes. It's the first time we've seen breakfast in front of either one of them.
They've been starving for 2 days.
Paige ain't ate in 3 days. She's been on her back hungry since this show started.
Right.
Finally got the sister some pancakes.
So she's watching him eat. He ain't really talking. She's like, hello, like, what's going on? Are you okay? And he's being his not okay self, which is normal. And she's like, what's wrong? And he's just like, it's something so devastating, but I don't want to talk about it.
Who says that if they don't want to talk about it?
Well, you just say nothing. And so,
first of all, is it me or did he mumble?
That's hilarious. They didn't want him to disappear, so
that's a fact. He was in Augusta for half the episode last week. Yo, is it me or did he mumble through this whole episode? I had to turn the volume up every time they. I don't even want to talk about it. No, it's just right now. It's crazy.
I had to rewind some parts too because I said, "What did you say?"
No, it's just crazy right now. I mean, we're talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's devastating right now. You know, we're gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna need you to take your mic back off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the shower on. Then I'm gonna turn the faucet on. Then
turn everything on. So
all right.
Right, literally. So they're at the table and she's trying to get it out of him, and he's like, "I don't want to talk about it." He's like, "It doesn't matter." Sir, you trying to say
this is a baby. This is a baby, not a Verizon bill. What do you mean it doesn't matter?
What do you mean the baby doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now.
He said it like it was a ticket on their car. Like, it's fine. I'll pay it. Like, what?
Are you saying it doesn't matter and we're never going to talk about it? Like, we're never going to have this conversation? What are you talking about? And so she's like, you don't keep secrets that's going to affect our... Like, you can have your little secrets, right? Let's just say you can have your little secrets, but not if it's going to affect us both. No. I really like that she's not a pushover. She has not been a pushover at all. Like, that he says things and she doesn't like concede to like just be like, okay. Like, she literally like she expresses herself. She asks the right questions. Like, she doesn't like just move along and let him act foolish. Like, she be in there. And I really love that about her. And I love that she doesn't like lash out and get like irrationally emotional, which would be fine in this case because this is ridiculous. But not once has she like broke down crying. Has she like got all angry Black woman? Like she's really like held her composure really, really well.
And that's my. I have a problem with that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The whole angry Black woman moniker. It's like, yo, listen. In 3 days.
Yeah, it's absolutely dumb. I'm just saying. I'm so like, she's showing to me a level of. Because she's going through a lot, right? This is a lot of traumatic events that she's going through.
They got married on a Tuesday. This is Thursday.
Yes. Tons and tons of trauma back to back to back. We ain't even got through a week yet. And she's showing to me a level of confidence and like self-confidence and maturity that I don't feel like people are giving her credit for. Like they're just like, this is such a traumatic event. This is just gonna stain her life for the rest of her life. Yeah, I think this is a terrible thing that she's going through, but I think that she's been showing to me that she has like a self-assurance that this is definitely a painful moment, but like, I don't know, she's just handling it very well. Whereas I think that it would make complete sense if she was literally in a corner, balled up somewhere in tears. But yeah, that's just mine.
So here's my thing. Like, let's say they got married on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. This is Thursday. Why are the producers having these talks with these people? Their life is breaking down. Excuse me. Hello? Ask the cow. Where's Pepper?
Exactly. What experts that? Brianna and Vincent are the new experts. Period.
Yo, what is going on? Where are these people who are in charge? I don't care if it's like, hey, it's in Vegas, it's a honeymoon. Enough has happened to buy one of them a Southwest flight and get them up to the 27th floor. There's real life happening up there.
Real life happening. So she finally comes in there back into the room and she's like, no, you need to tell me. And he's like, you want to know? She's like, sir, yes, yes, I want to know. So he grabs her up, yokes her up, pulls her into the bathroom, talking about take off your mic. Take
your mic off. Come on in here. I'm gonna tell you everything that's going on.
As if everybody in the room doesn't already know. As if they don't already have him in the mic saying what happened. Like this is already.
No, the worst part is that she's going to the producers, being like, "Hey,
oh yeah,
what's going on?" And they're like, "We can't tell you." So she's like, "Wait, John in PR knows?" Like,
she said, "Y'all need to tell me what's going on."
Hey, it's the guy holding the boom mic. He knows. She's like, why does everybody, the clerk downstairs at breakfast, the waiter who came to bring him the eggs, like
the bell? This is funny. So he pulls her in the bathroom and he tells her what everybody on the face of the earth already knew, that he finna have a baby, and leaves her in there. Like he don't even stay to try to console her. I don't know what happened in the bathroom for real, but he left and he's talking about she having a moment. Like what did she say? She's having a moment.
Yeah, I think she's having a moment. I literally had to rewind and turn it up.
Me too. Me too.
Did you tell her? Yeah, I told her. She had a little moment in there. She's good. She's in there. She got a moment.
Yeah.
She came out.
And I thought that she was gonna come out like, no, she literally just came out like, wow. Like she's a different breed. Like she.
Do you know the disregard you have to have for somebody to marry them and then drop a baby on them and then leave the bathroom? Like, Hey, I can clearly see this is affecting you. I'm gonna give you your space. Like, give you your.
Clearly, you had too much space to begin with.
First of all,
that's the problem.
He in there. The shower's on. The sink is on. He flushing the toilet incessantly. He's like, the steam is starting to get to my allergies. I'm gonna go ahead out of here and just. I'm just gonna go ahead and see like you need.
That poor girl. So then they went to their experts, Brianna and Vincent. Well, Vincent came up. Paige went down to Brianna.
Where Dad and Mom at? Dad and Mom don't want to be here for this crisis. Where Pastor at? Huh? Where Pastor Tevin Campbell at? He don't want to show.
Not Tevin Campbell.
Where Pastor Tevin Campbell don't want to come here. He don't no spiritual advice for this one. Okay.
So Vincent, I felt like Vincent was in there asking the right questions that we needed to know. He like, are you sure this your baby? Number one. Number two, do you think she's telling the truth about the baby at all? Which is not something I ever thought of, but that's a valid question too, because people be doing stuff like that. He's like, so how far along is she? Like, these are all the questions that we needed to know. And I really appreciated Vincent I really appreciated Vicente for that. Because he was working for us. And she told Brianna, and Brianna was looking like you could tell she wasn't trying to be like, run, girl.
she pretty much said it.
Well, she said it in a way that I think that somebody in that situation could receive it. Because she could have just been like, oh, no, girl, you got to go. But she was kind of like, how are you feeling? Okay. she did a good job. And she basically told her, you got to think about yourself. This is only day 3. It's not like we a month and a half in and you built this bond with this person, all this stuff. Like, it's date, girl. We just got off the plane. Go home.
You know, one thing that you never anticipate when you marry someone at first sight is that you become a stepmother on your honeymoon. That's unique. Anyway.
Yeah. And so we find out that the girl is 6 weeks along.
Allegedly.
I feel like it could be proven.
Do you believe it? Do you believe his story?
What's funny is that before we got to his actual story, I wrote in my notes that they very well could not have talked since then. Because people literally be doing that. Like, they have people that they hate with their guts, not saying that they hate each other. Even though he's saying that they weren't on good terms, but they probably anyway. There are people that hate each other, find each other somewhere, link up, and then go back to hating each other. Like, they literally wake up from their post-coitus relations and
that's a good word. I'm gonna look that up after this is over.
And they go back to, okay, get out of my bed. Like, they literally go back to hating each other. So that doesn't seem like too far out for me, because I actually know people who've done that.
But do you believe it though?
I can believe it.
You believe that somebody that you were engaged to would have been pregnant for 6 weeks and knew it and didn't tell you and waited until you got married to tell you?
Well, yes, people be doing that. People get married, people get pregnant, and if they don't want nothing to do with the guy, they literally will be hiding it. I see people do this, and I'm not proud to say that, but people do this. So I can believe the story. It's not so far-fetched. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something real quick. I want to do while we talk about Paige and Chris. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Okay. So, before we get to their dinner conversation, what are y'all talking about? Right. She should have took her to the bathroom too and turned on the water and told her to run.
I'm running water for the rest of this segment. Can y'all hear the shower in the background?
Barely. You're annoying though. But yeah, so allegedly she's 6 weeks. I do.
Oh, we pay for our water now. I can't run that. Hold on, I'll be right back. I forgot.
So I believed, so before he told his version of the story, I concocted in my mind that maybe they had sex and then they did not speak after, and she heard through the grapevine that he got married, and she is like, I need to tell him. That's what I concocted in my mind. He's saying that she just found out, which
I don't think
that part I don't believe.
I don't think he just found out.
No, he's saying that she just found out.
I know. I don't believe that, and I don't think he just found out either.
Really?
No. No.
You don't think he would have held it longer if he knew? They just went through some foolishness. I would at least wait until after the honeymoon to tell her.
You know, he's different though. He's different. I don't know. It's hard for me.
Because if you believe that, then you have to believe that he's not this master manipulator.
What you mean?
If you think that he wouldn't wait until after they had a bomb honeymoon and had this wonderful time, like he could have built this relationship with her and then told, if he knew, would have did that, then told her after the honeymoon, that would have been real manipulation.
I get what you're saying. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. So the day before when he comes in, like, I'm just stressed and I'm just not attracted to you. I don't know, man. I think he knew. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just don't check out, man. It's just certain people when you just, I don't know. I don't know if
he thought it would look good.
Yo, Vincent did everything in that talk to. First of all, Vincent.
I thought about this. Sorry, I thought about this too. I thought about that too. I was like, maybe this is his second attempt at trying to.
I'm so glad, get out of it. I'm so glad you said that because that's my next point. Why? Because I know we'll get to all the husband talk later, but why would you tell her, listen, if you want to stay or if you want to go, I support you either way. Then, well, we'll talk about the couples couch thing later. He said something in the couples couch. The reason he broke down in the couples couch was just too much. And I'm getting a lot of like Brandon vibes where he's like getting into it with producers and being on camera. And now he's like fighting with people on Facebook. It's just too much. It's too much.
So they went to dinner, and at dinner he apologized for embarrassing her and making her go through hell for the past couple days, which he should have. I'm glad he apologized, because he could have very well just been like, this is whatever. But I'm glad he apologized. She deserves that and more. But after that, the conversation after the apology was so annoying to me, because I'm like, okay, so in my head I'm with P. Welch. I'm like, okay, this is his way to try to get her to go away. But the whole conversation at dinner was literally trying to make her stay.
You know, my husband.
And I was
I just want you to, my main priority before my baby is you.
I'm like, okay, so I'm like, what? I'm like, do you want her to go or do you want her to stay? Do you don't like her or you do? Like, which one is it?
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, this is I and you keep saying the master manipulator comment, but I don't want to go that far. but I think that he wants something, but he never wants to appear as the bad guy.
What I think he wants is to not, he doesn't want to be a failure on this. He doesn't want to be a failure.
He doesn't want to look bad. If she decided that day, like, I can't do this anymore, he would have played up. He would have been like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm just going to try to take care of my baby and do what's best for me and my family. And da 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 da. And he would have been happy knowing that he came out looking like somebody left him versus him looking like the bad guy. In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to look like the bad guy. I think him looking like the bad guy is failure in his eyes. Like, if it comes that, like, if this ends, yeah.
Did you believe the apology?
All he said was, "I'm sorry for putting you through all this mess for the past couple of days."
Do you believe it though?
Yeah. You don't believe nothing he said. All he said was, "I'm sorry for bringing all this drama to your life." Is that a bad thing to do? Okay, so
yo, this man said, I'm just sorry. I just want you to know, I told you that you're beautiful and it's like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, he
no,
was saying random stuff.
And maybe I'm tripping. I can give it up. Maybe I'm tripping and I am just missing something. But I think
most people have there's nothing that he can do at this point to make anybody feel like anything that comes out of his mouth, people are going to hate it. So
Hey, Tasha, you sound like them people who end up marrying the inmates. Were you like, he's reformed? No, I know he did that double murder 2 weeks ago, but he's a different man now.
No, like, I just feel like I can step out of this and just I can be on the outside. I feel like most people are extremely invested in this particular relationship, and I understand completely why, and I'm just not.
You know why though? I'm gonna tell you why. Chris's behavior is highlighted by the fact that Paige, at every turn, somehow finds a way to be and show herself to be a great person. Mm-hmm. Even when he's crying and struggling and something devastating happening to me. Yeah, that's a fact.
Don't.
You don't like putting them comments up. You be reading them and try to pass. Next couple. Nah. Chris's behavior is highlighted by the fact that she always seems to me to do the right thing. And even when he said like, I got something really devastating I don't even want to talk about. And she was like, I am your wife. You're my husband. And we're going to get through this together. And she was so good. My body, for a moment, filled with a supreme amount of estrogen. And I was like, girl, no. And I have never said that in my life. But I'm like, girl, stop. Please.
Yeah. He said to her at dinner, there was a number of things he said. One, that my wife should come before everybody. That's before my parents, before this, that, even before my child. And I was like, okay.
That's why I'm like, you're doing too much. You're trying. And
he said that to Vincent too. Which I'm like, okay.
Because he knows he's on camera.
Yeah. So, you really? The thing is, I don't know. I don't feel like she has low self-esteem.
I disagree with that.
I don't think that it's a self-esteem issue. Because I actually feel like she has lots of self-esteem. If she didn't, she would be looking like a whole different person right now. Like she would be an emotional wreck. You know,
listen, if what was the girl that was married to Luke? If that had happened to Luke, she would have, listen. That girl that married Luke, if Chris had done this to her, she might have jumped off that hotel roof by now.
Off herself.
So,
so he said that
when they were at the dinner, as soon as she said, "Well, how long has she known?" I was like, "Oh, she's gonna stay with him."
You thought it was at that moment she was gonna say?
You know, because it's just certain questions that you ask. It's like certain probing questions where if you're leaning towards staying, like if you decided you're gonna go,
you don't want to hear nothing else.
It's just certain things you wouldn't ask, like why didn't you tell me?
Sure.
Did you really know? Like she didn't even press him about like did you really need to know? Did you really da 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 da? When did you find out? When did she call you? Like you would need to hear the last couple lies before you're like out.
Sure.
And then, but she was like, "Are you interested in going back with her?" I'm like, "You're probing to be with him out of this false sense of like long suffering." Like,
this false. She thinks that God thinks she's Job, but he knows that she's not. Like, you're not Job, ma'am.
Listen,
God is not trying to put all of this on you.
Job lost his spouse and his kids, and you should as well.
Like, and then she telling him that she basically used to be a stepmom in her last relationship. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? This part, yes. I agree with that. She has a Marty mentality.
She has the right mentality for marriage.
Yeah.
But
this
has
only been 3 days with somebody you don't know and you don't have any rapport with, any positive rapport with, and she really needs to go think about herself. But he slick talk his way back up in there, talking about we need to build a friendship. Okay, part of this building a friendship is to stop having sex. They had sex again last night. Why are you doing this, girl? Maybe it is self-esteem. Let me retract what I said. Maybe it is. Because if you're still sleeping with this man after he did all of that, and we didn't even get to the episode where Pastor Cal asked her if they sleeping together, and she says every night. So she must have slept with him tonight too.
You know, and this is why this highlights the importance of having really good friends around you, because she is really struggling.
She didn't listen to her good friends because her good friend told her her good friend told her keep your eyes open and your legs closed.
The EOLC, man, we out here.
That announcement, we got a new speaker. We got Tony Gaskins. We got a 3-part workshop.
The EOLC, the Eyes Open, Legs Closed conference. Y'all register.
Oh gosh.
It's, she had one friend at the reception who was like, girl, make him earn it. And then she had another friend who was like, give him a chance. And that's why it's important to have people who can give you context in a moment, because you could be struggling for something that is really toxic and you need somebody to be like, hey, listen to me.
Sweetie.
Listen, sis, this ain't the friend you need. This is not how this is. Now listen, that friendship is not platonic. If that's the friendship Virginia and Eric talking about, they cannot be friends. Leave that alone.
Mike, we didn't get to the past. We didn't get to you talking about Pastor Cal when I just said, we didn't even get to the episode yet. So I know they still sleeping together. But anywho, I guess we'll talk about them more at the couples couch. Let's move on to
hot mess.
Let's move on to the season favorite.
Tyler Perry watching Paige and Chris like, why didn't I think of this? This would have been a great movie.
Brianna and Vicente are living their best magical life.
Yeah, can we stay on them for like a half an hour, man? I just need something good to talk about. I need positivity in my life.
They is living their best magical life. They had their last night was magic. That they named the episode after that. Last night was magic. They're having great conversations. I think everybody except for Paige and Chris had the conversation that everybody's supposed to have when you get to know somebody that you're married to, go down the list. But they had having great conversation. It looks like when they're at dinner, it looks like he's still like a little nervous sometimes, and it's like super cute to me. Like he says certain things and he kind of like bashful, and I'm like, this is so cute.
They're rubbing feet together. I'm like, all right, this is good.
Yes, playing footsie. I love that.
Oh, I started crying. I was like, fam.
Did she?
Yeah, like, what did you cry? I mean, like, I know why you crying, but she's like, don't you just love? I'm like, oh, okay. And As soon as they came back from commercial, they put Paige and Chris back on. I was like, "Yep, dry them tears. Here we go."
You know what? Watching Brianna and Vincent, I forgot they was in Vegas because he picked up, walked on the beach. I'm like, I thought they was on a real vacation for a minute.
That's one of the man-made beaches your boy made. What's my man?
Jacob built that beach for the honeymoon.
Jacob got there a week earlier so he could build that beach.
But yeah, that made me forget they was in Vegas. And I was like, this was adorable. We found out that they had coitus. And why you don't know what coitus means?
Because I did 7 years undergrad. I don't know this stuff.
Coitus is sex.
Oh, okay.
If you say sex on YouTube like that.
Oh, okay.
we found out that they went to Pound Town.
Oh, okay. Oh, coitus it is. Coitus it is. All right. We're going to stick with coitus. They were intimate.
We found out that they were intimate and it was organic. They was both in a, vulnerable place after, the grandmother had the heart attack and then she was there for him. And then they was all, they was hugged up under the sheets. And then, it went and it went. He told her that they were a match made in heaven. Which was super cute.
I'm like, yo, bro, you got to pace yourself. Why are you telling this woman?
He is in love.
Yo, he is gone.
He's in love.
Yo,
she was talking about how she want to do stuff, and he was like, she asked him his opinion on things. She gave him two options. He said one option. She'd be like, "Oh no, I don't like that." He was like, "Okay, why'd you ask me?"
He was saying so many sweet things that on commercial, my wife was like, "Do you still feel that way about me?" He's like, "Come on, man. They 3 days in, man. Give them a chance."
Were you like that? Well, I guess this is a completely different situation. I'm gonna say, were you like that 3 days in to get to know her? But probably not.
3 days in? No.
Were you friends with your wife?
We were friends for a long time. She met my whole family and everything before we were in a relationship. I still feel that way about my wife, but I don't tell her that every day. You got to pace yourself. You can't be wasting all of that on one. No, I'm joking. But I'm joking. It's a joke. But it was really sweet to see. And they are the only hope of the season.
I don't think that they're the only hope.
But hear me out. Even if other people stay together, and they can stay married for years, but like they're
the only reason why people are going to watch next season.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
If they weren't on this show, there would be no reason to watch season 13.
That's a fact.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, but I don't think it's that serious.
Don't even worry about it. She good.
But like I said, she was like, she's like, do you want to live in a high rise or you want to live in a town or in a house? And he was like, I think a house would be nice. She was like, I want to live in a high rise. I'm like, and he's like, he looked like, why'd you ask me if you already knew what you wanted to do? Just tell me what you want to do and we could probably do that. It's fine. But I don't have too many notes about them. They're doing so good. Like they're just nice to see.
I think Mike, he's caught up.
True.
No, I mean, like it could maybe words of affirmation are just their thing. I'm like, yo, fam, y'all have been to 3 lunches. Don't act like what is match made in heaven? Like, all right, we get it. Y'all in love, but like, my wife and I didn't fight for the first year we were together, and I thought we thought we would never go. First time we had a fight, I was like,
who are you?
We're not gonna make it. But it's like I think when they have their first fight and then they get over it.
When you say fight, like what do you mean, like a blowout or like
No. I'm saying like a part where it don't have to be no fight. Like fighting is not disagreeing and conflict. Their first conflict. Conflict is such thing as necessary conflict. I've grown because of the necessary conflict in my marriage, and I'm sure they'll do the same. And I'm confident that they'll hurdle it with flying colors.
Yeah, they'll work through it. One or both will concede.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else about them until we get to the couples couch? Or
they make me very happy. they are the chaser of the season. Everything else is really hard to go down. Thank God for Brianna and Vincent. They make it. It's like they're the reason I'm watching.
I can't wait till we get to hear more from them or see more of them anyway.
If there's ever a time I would want to skip a couple, it is for this next couple coming up.
Let me tell you something. After their initial showing on the screen, I literally forgot that they were on the show until they showed them at dinner. I completely forgot that they were here. Haley and Jacob.
Why?
So forgettable. Unfortunately, so forgettable. Okay. So you don't have nothing to say about them?
I got nothing. I literally.
Okay, I do.
Okay, have at it.
So remember last week when I was saying, when you were asking me, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, whatever week it was. Siobhan, why are you so savage tonight?
Sheesh.
So, remember a few weeks ago when you asked me, because remember when Chris was talking about how he wasn't attracted to Paige all on camera. Well, he didn't say it all on camera, but like, and I was telling you that I would pretend that I would never say that I wasn't attracted, and I would just pretend that everything was fine as I got to know him, so that I don't look like the bad person who said I'm not attracted to him on the first day. That is what she's doing. Not once has she said that he's attractive. So they were in the bed and he was like, he was basically telling her that she was beautiful, and he was like, I think the experts did an amazing job, and she was like, they did all right. And at dinner, he was basically fishing for reassurance and compliments because she hasn't given him anything to go off of. Yeah, she doesn't like him, but she's definitely trying to hold it in so that she doesn't look like the bad person, which makes complete sense to me. It's exactly what I would do if I wasn't attracted to my husband at the beginning.
Yo, they both have these things that it just makes it really hard for them to watch. So she has this thing where he says something, and then she does like this, like this weird. He'll be like, "Hey man, I just think the experts did a really good job," and she'll be like, like, why are you supposed to say something affirming? Like that's the time. Like he's clearly throwing you the alley to say something nice.
And she just been like,
he's like, wow, I wanted somebody beautiful and they gave me you. And she's like, like, say something. And
nothing.
Here's the thing about Jacob that's weird to me. When he does like his off-camera testimonials, when it's him by himself, he has a lot to say. He's like, no, listen, I think the wonderful thing about Haley is that she's smart. She has her own mind. She's beautiful. She's captivating, da-da-da. And then when he gets back to the table, he's like, so,
onions. You like those onions, right? Raw.
Air, right? You're like, no, just say the things that you were saying to the producers. Say it to her. Because she's at the table. They keep cutting her at the table like she's looking at him like he's stuttering. He's not even stuttering. He just don't say nothing.
He's also just saying really out of the box things. Like, and so
what's the craziest thing you've ever done? I was like, no, Jacob. Don't do it, Jake. Don't do it.
What's your favorite car? Mine's a DeLorean. She's like, I'm into cars. What are you talking about?
Back to the Future. She was like, oh, that's what that is. He said, yeah. Like, what? What are you doing? And then he went back to the testimonial like, I think the chemistry is going great. I love the way she existential, like he's using all these words, and then he get back to the table like, yeah. What are you doing, sir? Say something.
I thought he asked her what her first serious relationship was, and she said it was 15, not necessarily the one she ever had. I thought it was just her first one.
She went to one middle school dance and then she got married at first sight. She has been with no one.
Maybe.
Somebody kissed her on the cheek in first grade on the playground, and she has not seen a man since.
You know, the distance of the length of their table at dinner and the distance that the table put in between them was so indicative of the distance that is in their actual relationship. Like, it was so far away. Hey, but
if you guys want to have fun next week, anytime Haley and Jacob come on, just put the captions on your TV and put it on mute, and let's enjoy how awkward it is without the silence.
And the show, they already put the silence in their interactions already, which makes it so much worse. Like, they be having music for everybody else, but for Jacob, they gonna make sure it's quiet when you start talking.
No. Or they put that dun, 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 that clown music under him when he be talking. Dun, dun, dun,
they putting the clown music behind him. They're literally playing him.
Poor Jacob.
But oddly enough, at the end of the dinner, she seemed so more upbeat than any of her other testimonials. She was like, "It was a good dinner," and I was like, "Okay."
Were you there?
No, I'm just saying. I'm
talking about her. Like, she was like. Did you see the same dinner I saw?
They had a few more conversations with the voiceover. It seemed like they were getting somewhere, but like, yeah, it's just dry. She is, and he is too, but he thinks that he's found the one, and she don't think she found the one yet. Yeah, he would absolutely do better with an older woman. Maybe not in her 40s, but definitely around his age. Someone who enjoys 80s things, someone who enjoys Star Wars, the earlier versions that are on VHS, things like that.
I think.
What? I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I think the experts said, yo, let's match Jacob up with someone who would completely hate everything about his life. And then Pepper was like, oh, I'm great at that. I know someone. Haley.
Yeah, it was yeah. I'm dead.
That's a fact. He does have a very we have the meats kind of personality. That's a fact.
But I'm done talking about them. I want to go to the couples couch, because
here we go.
These people. So at the end of the episode, they go to what I'm assuming is happy hour or something together. I'm calling it the couples couch because everybody was hugged up on some couch with they fake booze. And the first thing I want to point out was how much Haley and Jacob were lying about how great their relationship is going. Jacob's just like, yeah, we're doing great. The chemistry is amazing. Having such a great time together. And like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, sir, you are lying on your resume to get this job. That is a lie.
Matter of fact, they were like, even Haley jumped in to act like she liked him too. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to lie to kick it. You're getting paid to be here. You don't gotta lie too. It's fine. Oh, I never even thought about that. They haven't talked about children at all, I don't think.
I think he just wants as many people to admire his man-made beach. I don't care. I don't know if he cares what age they are. He has some sort of R2D2 servant at his house. I don't know if he wants children, but maybe.
They haven't talked about it at all. So maybe that's. They
haven't talked about anything at all. He doesn't say anything.
You're right.
Except for the producers. The producers are like, he's a great guy. Great conversation. He has nothing to say.
Claire and Ryan didn't lie. They're having a good conversations, healthy connection. They're doing fine.
Yeah, they're good.
It's funny because I mentioned Chad earlier. You didn't say anything.
But I've decided. Everybody who's on here every week knows that you have a thing for Chad. I'm not.
Do you know somebody came in my comments last week and told me that Chad got engaged in December?
You also said that last week.
No, I said that I haven't looked up anything about him, so I don't know if he's in a relationship or not. And somebody came in my comments and told me that he got engaged.
How does that make you feel?
Terrible. Why would you do that? Why are you gonna come into my house and disrespect and kill all my dreams and then leave? Like, I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Did you look it up?
No.
Who he was engaged to? Mm-mm. Still bringing him up, huh?
just for the.
Yep. Chris got you thinking any engagement is fugazi, huh? Don't even respect engagements no more.
I am a little bit curious to what his type is. I feel like I know, but I'm curious, but I'm not gonna look it up.
Yo, just for the sake of this
somebody
show,
let me know if y'all look it up.
For the sake of the show, can you please just look this man up? Because you are spending a lot of you keep trying to give yourself credit for not looking him up, and then you spend 20 minutes talking about this man. Oh, somebody said Chad is married. I'm sorry, you need help?
Excuse me.
Did you just choke on your disappointment?
Why would you say that? You know what? I need sources. Somebody drop a link or something so I can
drop a link to prove that he's married. He's not even on this show. He's just a family member. He wasn't even on this episode.
Wow. Okay.
Y'all being messy. That's messy.
First of all, this is hilarious. Yes, that's how she was looking on the couple's couch.
Yo, do you know when a magician does a trick where they're like, hey, I already know what you're gonna say, so I'm gonna put this answer in this envelope, and at the end of the trick, I'm just gonna reveal it. I feel like that's what Haley can do to her decision day. Like, let me just put the word no in an envelope, and we'll go through the process for the money. But just so you know, it's not gonna change.
It's every day. He's doing every 6 hours. He's just doing something to annoy her even more. Why are you eating raw onions?
And then smiled afterwards like it was going to create conversation. He said.
And then said, I was thinking about kissing you. She said, no. You've lost your mind. Anyway, they was lying.
That's a fact. Tasha tried to downgrade him to engage. So
that's what I got in my comments. I told you I didn't look it up, so I don't know. That's what somebody came to me and told me. Now I'm finding out it's marriage. So I need somebody to be the third person to tell me what's the truth. I don't know. Anywho, oh wow! See, I knew it.
I mean, he's black.
So is his brother.
I mean, okay. Point taken.
That's the whole point. So yeah, Clara and Ryan, they're fine. Brown and Vince are talking about they in love, and they asked Paige and Chris how they doing because they just look. Body language expert can clearly tell that this is not working.
Awkward.
And so they asked them how they doing, and they're not really answering. And Brianna and Vincent is looking like this. Like he's not looking at anyone. He keeps looking off to the side. Brianna's looking like. And Vincent is like, I don't even want to see what's going on.
Now listen, let me tell you something. There is Nothing more awkward for a brother than knowing that another black man is full of it and you cannot tell anybody about it. There's nothing more awkward. I know that feeling. When he was sitting there and he was like, yeah, everything's going on.
He didn't even say nothing before she said, everybody knows we had some challenges. First of all, you had some challenges. This is the second day of the honeymoon. How does everybody know y'all had challenges?
Yeah, Bobby and Whitney had challenges. Ike and Tina had challenges. That's the tier. They're a tier of challenges. You in that tier.
And she's like, everybody knows we had challenges, and we're taking it one moment at a time. And he's like, I concur. I was like, sir, what?
But she tried to give him the layup, like, I'm gonna let him go ahead and say his piece.
And he just said, I concur.
Yeah, I concur. Uh-huh.
And she was like, you don't want to say nothing else? Why would he want to say anything else? That's embarrassing.
Paige.
Of course he don't want to say nothing else. He didn't even want to tell you. So he tells the couples that were present.
Minus one.
Minus Michael, Scott, and Ashley. And he tells them that he found out that day that he got a baby on the way.
Hey, wait. Before you get to that part, hey, did you enjoy the part where Paige was like, well, listen, it's going to come out anyway, so you want to tell him? I don't want to tell him.
No, girl. No.
They can find out with everybody at home. I don't want to tell them right now.
They can find out at home when we're not in this group setting, and they can find out while we at the apartments. Period.
That's cold-blooded.
So she just put him on the spot, and he's like, okay.
Yes, so.
So he tells them that he got a baby on the way. And it's so funny how people be trying to like hold their facial expressions. Okay. And like everybody literally was like, and
Jacob didn't even try. Jacob gave up. He was like, I actually have something to say about this, but I don't have anybody to say it to. This deserves a fresh plate of steak and eggs.
Some onions on the side. Not even onion rings. Like, sir, like, why are you
raw onions?
Raw onions?
He's literally just a human Shrek.
Poor thing. So, yeah. Everybody is, they give their little opinions. Definitely the testimonials, they went ham on their opinions. And Clara basically was saying, like, she feels Paige is forcing it. Like, she said the same thing. You need to think about yourself. Like, you need to think about yourself in this moment. Like, yes, you're in a marriage. And I understand to her that marriage is sacred. But the sanctity of your marriage, like, it didn't start off with sanctity. Okay? Like, it was ruined literally before the beginning. That said, Jamal, you're funny.
She said,
Vicente.
Yo, she said, you know what? The Lord will never put more on us than we can bear. And I'm like, the Lord? The Lord didn't give that girl no baby. That ain't got nothing to do with the Lord.
I'm telling you, she really thinks that she is Job.
I just want anybody on this chat who knows Paige, please invite her to your church. Because whatever church she has been going to, she needs a new members class. I don't know what God she knows, but you ain't gonna have no baby on me on a 3-day weekend and think we about to be together.
On a 3-day weekend.
She didn't even make it to the Monday. She didn't even make it to President's Day. Like, goodness gracious.
It's just like, Paige, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yo, but listen, after she said that, after they said their piece, every single person on Married at First Sight season 12 was like, "Hey Paige, we support you, girl. Yeah, Paige, it's gonna be all right. Hey Paige, it's gonna be all right, girl. Hey Paige, don't you worry about it. Paige, 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 don't you worry about it. You be strong." Chris was sitting there like, and then got the nerve to be like, "Yeah, after I gave the announcement, I didn't really feel supported. It feels like everybody was talking to Paige and nobody was supporting us." Supporting us? What do you mean?
And you know what's funny is that they were wording it as if they were supporting them, but clearly they're like, yeah, we support you in whatever decision that y'all make. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have your back.
Yo, after they said it, they were like,
y'all do.
Wow, that is a crazy situation. Paige, we love you. Hey, Paige, look at me. We love you and you alone. We hate him. Please.
He ain't think about us at all. Child. And she keeps saying, it's starting off rough, but God is writing my story. And I'm like, God is a better author than this, ma'am. This is not, child. Y'all know that she's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you think this timeline is?
It's a terrible time. I don't think it could not happen. Is all I'm saying. I don't think it could not happen because things like that happen to people.
So let me ask you a question. Just realistically speaking, I don't know the behind the scenes, but do you realistically think, how long do you think is the process from someone auditioning for the show to the point where they find out? Now, mind you, when the experts come and tell you like, hey, in 2 weeks, you're engaged. In 2 weeks, you're going to be married. So that's at least 4 weeks. That's less than a month. Mm-hmm. How long do you think is the process before you apply for the show to when you actually get booked for the show?
I think it's at least two or three. But if he's saying that he hasn't, that they weren't interacting before that, and he went to go, this. And the thing is, I have seen this. The only reason why I can say that this is not complete BS is because I have actually seen this happen with my eyes. People hate each other, see each other one day, have intimate relations, and then don't talk after that no more until a girl finds out that she's pregnant. I have seen this with my complete eyes. That's why I'm not saying that this is so far-fetched, because I have seen this with my eyes.
First of all, after everybody showed Paige love, he yoked her up like David Ruffin and the rest of the Temptations and whispered in her ear for 30 of the most awkward sex. I would rather be a third wheel on a Haley and Jacob date than sit in that awkward silence between Paige and Chris. And then she walked away, and like he walked away. He walked away, and like any good woman, she held him down and acted like everything was normal. Then this man had the nerve to get on the couch and cry because everybody looks happy and they got their type. Excuse me? What do you mean? If he had cried about, hey, I don't feel like they support me, I feel like everybody's taking her side and I'm a victim too, and I didn't know, and that's fine. But he
said that too, but it was definitely more so because they were so happy. And half of them were pretending, so he was upset for nothing.
Everybody got what they want. What?
He
Go ahead.
I don't even want to say what I want to say because
go ahead.
Y'all already hate me.
No, go please say it.
No,
please say it. Say Paige was wrong for letting them walk away. Go ahead.
No,
you about to say something? Go ahead.
I would not say nothing about like that about Paige.
I would like to hear what you want to say.
I'm sure you do. I think that it's funny. I didn't even say anything.
I know there's a point in every show where you about I can feel it. I feel it coming. My spidey senses are tingling.
Let me get my thoughts together correctly before.
Take your time, please.
This is not an excuse for anything.
It is.
I gotta preface what I'm saying because people be taking my words out of context.
Sounds like something Chris would say.
This is so funny. But I don't think it was. I can see why he left to go cry, right? Especially if what he's saying is the truth, right? Had just got married to somebody that he doesn't think is attractive, right? Which already had his breakdown about.
You slept with her. Keep going. You slept with her.
Yes, already had his breakdown about that. The next day, his feelings got hurt because he got reprimanded about what he did and all that stuff, right? Then the next day, he finds out, if he really did, find out that he has a baby on the way. Then they get with all the other people and everybody else is happy. Like, he literally looks like the biggest failure of the season. And his whole thing at the beginning was he wanted to be the best marriage. I want to be the flyest one. I want to be this and that. And he's like, this is not what I was expecting at all. I can understand it being extremely overwhelming for him, that he wanted to go cry because this is not going well for him at all. Paige went over there to say she's such a good woman. Went over there to make sure he was okay. And then he got it together. They went back. Here come the Republican National Convention.
Wait. Before we go there.
What?
So you think it's okay for him to be overwhelmed because his dream was to be a power couple and he doesn't feel like his wife's looks will support that?
Do I think that? No, that's literally not what I said.
No, I need to. All right, maybe I missed it because it felt like you said it. You understood why he was overwhelmed.
If I step into his body, I can see him being overwhelmed. It's not about. I literally listed so many things, and you went back to her not looking the way that he wants.
Because the whole point of why. All right, so
that's the initial thing. That was the initial thing, and then it's literally been thing after thing. He's ruining it. He's just ruining the entire experience. Thanks, Jamal.
So you understand why I don't understand why he's overwhelmed.
Because nothing is going the way that he wanted. I can see him being like overwhelmed and emotional about it.
Maybe because
he's also a regular person too, y'all. He's not like this. He's still a person. Don't forget what you've been saying.
No, listen. The grace method is still in effect. It's just I have a hard time.
He's not, like I said, his emotional IQ is not even high. Like, he's literally crushing under the weight of his failures right now. He's just back to back mess ups, and he's just like can't take it.
Maybe it's just the fact that we haven't seen Paige cry one time. I'm like, if there's anybody who deserves,
if anybody should be crying, it's her. It's almost like, wow, like she got something in there. It's something she got that.
Listen, let me tell you. I don't know. One thing I'd never do in this life is to console somebody crying because they're not attracted to me. You will cry alone in this world. Let me tell you something, right? You picking up that Virginia cup and drinking. I would never console you. You will cry alone.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. And at the beginning of the episode, before Keisha Cole got here, I was talking about how I usually give the benefit of the doubt all the time.
I'm never coming back. I see what's going on here. I don't deserve to be treated like this.
I'm not saying they're not self-inflicted. I'm just saying I understand how it could be a lot. That's all I'm saying. He's doing it to himself. He's ruining it for himself. It's all his fault. And I can see why even it being all his fault is just like, I messed up. This could have, like, I think the way that this could have went for him, businesses could have skyrocketed. Like, it just could have went so well for him. And he's just like, I ruined it at the very beginning. And it's just like thing after thing after thing. Everybody else is doing amazing. And it's just me that is trash. I can see him being very sad about that. Okay. Anyway, so he gets himself together. They go back to the couples. They're having regular conversations now, trying to, not be awkward and talk about what's going on with them. And here comes in late
the Republican National Convention.
Republican National Convention, having a excited, okay, living life, drunk, both of them. Have to be.
Headed to the U.S. Capitol.
Michael Scott got his second shot. He got his second shot. And they were having a ball. They walked in that room like, hey, yo.
That man drank 2 wine coolers and he was loose for the whole night.
For sure. So everybody, so they're sitting there. So I guess they're talking about, what were they talking about? What's the best part of their marriage or something like that? Something like that. And like, ooh, what we talking about? Like, they're like, oh yeah, we're doing amazing. They lying too. Haley and Jacob and they just lying, overinflating the success. Not that they're even doing bad. They're not. P-Watch, come back next week. And make sure you're here next week too.
Liquor Lady and Cheesy.
So they come in and they're lying about how amazing they're doing. They're not doing bad, but like, okay, y'all, calm down. Y'all don't have to lie to kick it. You're here on, like, they're paying you to be here. It's okay. You don't have to lie.
I don't even know if Eric is enjoying her company. He looked like one of them ushers at the church that gotta like contain the lady that's shouting. So you just gotta like form a circle. So it's like you kind of into it, but you're like, oh, I might have to catch her at any point. I don't know.
I think he's enjoying it because she hasn't been complaining. And I think that she's going to be complaining later on. And I think that he's just enjoying it. He don't know that she's about to complain, but she is. So they were overinflating how great their connection was. And come in to ruin everyone's night, basically.
They had just weathered a storm. They had literally just gotten over trying to make things normal. Everything
was going just as well as it could be, relatively. And here they come in, Hurricane Virginia. And I feel like that's one that really exists. And Hurricane Eric. And they're like, oh yeah, what's the best part of your marriage? What's the best part of your marriage? And everybody's looking like, and they're like, what? What happened? What we missed? Everything.
Sure. Let me reestablish the most traumatic experience of both of our lives. Let's rehash it again.
Yes, let's rehash it. Everybody was so uncomfortable. Literally everyone was so uncomfortable. And so they tell them, Chris told them, and here go Virginia. Are you sure it's yours?
Now, all right. Now this is where there has to be some conversation. Did you consider that to be disrespectful?
Disrespectful? It was intrusive. because they don't have any type of relationship at all. She don't know him from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? He's hung out with the guys, right? He don't know this little girl. It was intrusive. I don't know if disrespectful is the word.
Hey, Jamal.
Wait.
That's a fact. One piece at a time. Jamal, that's a fact.
But I can see where it's like, girl, I'll tell you the general story, but don't be trying to pick into the story. You don't even know me, girl. Okay, hold on.
Chris was already, as we like to call,
that's a good word,
elevated. Chris was already elevated. And to Chris's credit, because y'all be thinking I'm ragging on Chris all the time.
You are, but Siobhan, he knows Vicente. Like they have talked before the weddings. They have.
Yeah, all right. You think he
knows Vicente better than Ashley?
You think so? But after he went with Chris, remember after he went with Chris, when he went on the beach with Brianna, he was like, you know why we work? Because we tell the truth to each other. We don't lie.
That doesn't mean that they don't have a rapport.
He knows what's up. But here's the issue. Here's the issue with what happened. Now, I will give Chris credit. He tried to say, I don't want to talk about it. Let's drop it. Let's just get back to the evening. And as the Republican National Convention often does, they do not catch hints, and they are eagerly persistent. They're just disgustingly persistent. And he said, no. Listen, we're here for you.
They got their hands on their knee, hand on the shoulder. Don't touch me. I don't know you.
I don't think that it is disrespectful, was disrespectful to ask him, was it your baby? I would have asked the same question.
I would have asked it in my mind, and I would have said, hey, later on to my husband, text him and ask him if that's really his baby.
But coming from Virginia, like it's just
he just always on spring break. It
just wasn't. He wasn't here for it, and he just wasn't in a good place. So that just took him over the top.
Definitely took him over the top. And they just kept going. It was just like, even I was getting uncomfortable. Like, everyone else is quiet. Y'all don't see that it's uncomfortable. Read the room. Everybody else is literally like, Clara was literally drinking her wine. Like, she's just like, I don't have nothing to say here. Like, we already had this conversation. Just because you want to come in here 3 hours late, we're not gonna go over everything for you. You're gonna have to run the tape back and watch it yourself.
But Clara been to enough Black Lives Matter rallies. She knew what was up. Virginia ain't never been around there, so she's like, "Is that your baby? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? When did you know?" Like, it's like, fam, this ain't it. This ain't the time to do that.
And she's like, "I want to, DNA test." Okay. What you been through in your life, ma'am? You
saw she's telling the truth. She's trying to trap you. It's like, yo, fam, this ain't it. And Paige was over there looking like a hostage, like she didn't know what to do.
Because she literally just got him to calm down. Now she's like, child.
So I just want to say this for the record. Just if anybody wants to
iPhone.
If anybody wants to do research, Chris is also on 2. I know definitely one, but I want to say 2 Married at First Sight Facebook groups with open conversations where, for some reason, he believes that opening up his page for dialogue would somehow lead to some understanding. Like, listen, bro, you got to stop.
You're going against the whole of America.
If you watch this, you will not win, sir. You gotta just go. You gotta buy a Taco Bell and just go live your life somewhere. You gotta leave it alone, because people went in on him in the comments, and he's like, "Where's this coming from?" I'm like, "Sir, do you not understand?"
Did you watch the same show that we watched?
People do not like you, and the way the internet works is that they will drag you whether you're there or not. Now you've given them a light for them to come to and drag you. You got to leave. You're inviting your own dragon.
Yeah, it's over for him, unfortunately. Like
she should be due soon. She should be, the girl should be due by decision day.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's already 6 months pregnant and this was filmed already.
So here's the thing that I don't know about, because everybody, well, I also haven't done extensive research because I'm trying not to do too much outside research where it taints my entire opinion of, I haven't done any outside research on him either. What I'm saying is I don't want to do too much outside research where it just taints my opinion to what they're showing me on the show. I'm trying to be a real viewer of the show itself, how they frame it and things like that. And from the previews and stuff, I don't remember seeing Paige and Chris in too many of the previews. Maybe people already know that she stayed and that they did the whole thing, but I remember seeing Virginia. I mean, I remember seeing Brianna and Vicente. I remember seeing Jacob and Haley. I remember seeing Claire and Ryan. I don't remember seeing Paige and Chris. And so,
no, they were there. They were there on decision day.
On decision day, yes, but so were Bennett and Amelia, and they didn't last the whole time. So I wonder if she does leave and then comes back, like goes home for a while and then comes back on decision day. I wonder if. But yeah, maybe everybody knows something that I don't, because I just haven't looked into it.
I will say it every episode we get a chance. Married at First Sight should have
that part. That part.
Wait, what?
The way they keep consummating, Paige might be due by decision day. The way they keep having sex unprotected, she might have her own baby. You're right. I mean, she's not. They've been doing a couple scouts. She ain't pregnant, but that's.
I literally would not watch the show anymore if she was pregnant. It would hurt too much. My heart would hurt for her if that's what happened. I feel that'd be the worst.
Suck.
But yo, if you're watching,
why wouldn't she be protected? Like, I know it's your husband, girl, but
I'm trying to tell you, some people just come into this show. Look at the reason why she's staying. She's like, if this is God's plan, I just got to stick with it. Like, clearly we all think like, I don't think you heard from God. I think you heard from like Captain Planet or somebody. It was somebody else. It wasn't nobody who was real. You heard from the Avengers or Captain America or Iron Man or something. It wasn't God. But the reason why I
hate it. I hate that she's not using protection. I hate it with a passion.
Wait, did she say she wasn't?
Yeah, like in that future clip with Dr. Kyle, he asked her if they were having sex every night, and she said, he was asked her if she using protection. She said no. They're not using protection. He literally asked her in this episode about having his baby. She said something about that at dinner. He said something about having his baby.
Man, y'all got the wrong one. Because if I was getting married at first sight, I'd be wearing a hazmat suit until decision day.
If it was me, I would pull a Karen, and we can wait 2 months to have sex. It's fine. I can wait 8 weeks to have sex with you. It's fine. Decision day could be our honeymoon for real.
You know what would make me feel really good about the show? If Pastor Cal just came in and been like, we're sorry. He wasn't ready.
He made a statement.
Who?
Pastor Cal did.
Saying what?
He said that they chose him because he seemed like he was ready and that he had overcome whatever. And I read the article last week. I gotta find it. But he put out a statement. It didn't amount to nothing because you ain't said nothing, sir.
You know another episode we need? EOLC 2021. You know what else we need? After the reunion show, we need a show with the experts. The same way they have that matchmaking episode where they putting the couples together. They need an episode to evaluate their ability to put the couples together. They need an episode where they're like, okay, this is what we thought about this person, and this is why we were right, and this is why we were wrong. And you can big up the couples you got right, but then you can also discuss the processes that put wrong people together and what you'll do better for the next season. Because these matches are getting worse and worse.
The investigations for the next season is going to be extensive. They know they can't make this mistake again because the entire of America is over this. The entirety of America.
They're going to find 12 irises for next season. Yo.
That might work better.
Yeah, all right. You think about all the episodes that got coming down the pike. Remember, they have to come back home. Then they got to meet with the other person's family. Then they got to meet with each other's family. Paige's family, man, please. You might find...
They already checked out. Because they didn't even meet with him for brunch.
You might find Chris's head in the middle of a 12-inch honey oat bread from Subway. They're going to... Man, please. If that was my cousin... Anyway, so shout out to the Republican National Convention for always pushing things over the top.
Ruining things. Yeah, and that's why Chris want to fight him now because he's like, okay, you keep going too far, sir. I'm over it.
Whatever you want to do, bro.
He's talking about at the couple's couch. You need to focus on this woman right here. All this movement, calm down.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, sir, you're not an expert. You will be living until decision day in an Alcoholics Anonymous class. You're not an expert, sir. Why don't you just chill out?
Do you feel like I don't know why they felt like the authority at the couple's couch because you don't think everybody that was there had something to say already? Like this. They couldn't read the room at all, and it was annoying. But
I mean, but that's not the first time he's done that. Remember when she was like, "Yeah, I like to party, I like to go out," and he was like, "I like to do those things too, but I'm matured. I grew up." She was like, wow, that was a little stern.
That's what I'm saying. His personality was hopping out. Matter of fact, on About That, he said, "I'm chilled out in my older age." I'm like, sir,
you are 34, sir.
Only 34.
What is going on? You're not
acting like he's Jacob.
Right. You're not
chilled out in my older age. Poor thing. That Virginia's gonna have a rough time.
Good luck to her. She might just be drinking to douse the pain.
Right. They didn't know what to expect. Went out there and lost their minds.
I've never been to Vegas, so I understand.
I
don't know.
Ned Flanders. Who is this? Who is Ned Flanders?
You talking about
gotta be talking about Eric.
No, you're talking about Michael Scott, yeah. Sheesh. It's just, and then the preview for next week is like we haven't even hit the crescendo yet. And it's the producers, I want to say to the producers, y'all wrong. Because y'all just keep making Chris say stuff to make him look worse later in the episode. Remember, he was like, listen.
How long is this season? How many episodes is it? Because we're already on episode 5. And we still in the honeymoon. We ain't even got home yet.
Hey, Chris said, I'm so sorry. I'm so happy we got this. I'm so happy we got this fresh start. Nothing can go wrong now. Like, why y'all make him say that? Y'all knew good and well. Why y'all make that man say that just because y'all and then he go, listen, I'm so happy she and I got a fresh start. What are you looking forward to? I'm just looking forward to spending time with you. Me too. Then they cut to him. I'm just so happy we got a fresh start. I can't see nothing going wrong now. 2 hours earlier. It's like, come on, man.
Get worse than this.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, he's supposed to go. It's supposed to be Brandon versus Brandon versus the Republican National Convention is next week.
Oh, got it.
Oh, you didn't know who Ned Flanders was?
No.
I forgot you was watching Law and Order when you were like 4. You was responsible. You was hanging with all the adults.
Watching Law and Order and CSI.
He was watching Night Court. That's why you ended up with Earl.
Let me tell you something, okay? I like a younger guy now. I don't like older guys anymore.
I mean, okay.
I'm into people my age now. I'm over that phase.
Now, who says that? I'm not into 65-year-olds anymore. I used to love Ron Isley. Now
I'm into my age group now. I have.
Can I tell you the weirdest thing that happened to me tonight on my show?
What?
Somebody said their celebrity crush was the dad from Smart Guy. And I was like, what? Yeah, somebody really said that. I'm sorry. It came to mind. Yes, the save guy from The Simpsons. So you never, okay.
I know what we're talking about now. I didn't know his name. I know what we're talking about.
Okay.
But I do. He got glasses, right?
Okay. 50-50 chance. Sure.
He wears like a green sweater.
Okay.
I know what we're talking about.
I know.
He has like brown hair.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us again. What do we do next week? Is 8:00.
Yeah, we go back to our regular time next week.
Go back to regular time, 8:00. Thank you all for being at the EOC 2021 pre-show. That's what I'm gonna call this, the EOLC 2021 pre-show.
That's a fact.
And sticking with us.
If y'all know people who like the show, come on. We be having open dialogue. Tasha is a complete Chris apologist, so you can enjoy that.
I'm not. I'm not. I think that he has done so many wrong things, and it's sad. Poor thing.
Bless his heart.
Prayers for Paige. Hashtag prayers for Paige, because
that's a fact.
At this point, I wish I could know what was going. Like I'm not. I could go do the research, but I just don't care that much to go see what's happening with her right now and all that stuff.
I think we need to make an executive decision that Paige is going to be one of the Saturday session speakers for the EOLC conference.
She's going to be the keynote for Saturday night.
She's going to be the person that carries the mic around for testimony time.
No, she's going to be on stage listening to everyone's testimonies on how she should not have done this and what they did.
Sheesh. Now listen, if she ends up on an episode of Yana Fix My Life, that'll be the first episode I'll watch. Hey, thank you. Thank you. This
was a match made in heaven.
Hey Vincent, you gotta pace yourself, Doc. Y'all done had 2 omelets and now she's an angel. But then again, you said Vincent was an angel because he gave away 3 Sperry's to the homeless.
Father Teresa is back on the right track.
Y'all watch. If you're new to the show, watch previous episodes. She said, "Oh my God, he gave to the homeless. He's going into heaven first class." Like, come on, man.
A lot of stuff he said that I said in this episode, I did not say in previous episodes. Make sure y'all go watch them to hear what I really said.
Then the next episode, he said, "Good evening" to one stripper, and then he
said, "Good evening."
I mean, he said, "What's up?" He introduced himself. And then all of a sudden, he was a reprobate.
I'm just saying, go watch for yourself to see what I really said. And we'll see y'all next week at 8:00. Thank you so much for joining. Siobhan, Mike, P. Welch, BM, Jamal, all y'all, Reggie. Appreciate y'all. Kendra. All right, y'all. Good night. Bye.